I will tell you what are the signs of COVID infections in children. So COVID infections in children can be asymptomatic, can be pre-symptomatic, then the classical symptoms and the atypical symptoms. Now, asymptomatic, the child or the person will have COVID infections in his throat and nose, but he will not show any symptoms. Then there will be pre-symptomatic. Pre-symptomatic, initially the child is having COVID infection in his throat and nose, but he is not showing symptom, but eventually in 4 or 5 days, he will start showing symptoms. So this is pre-symptomatic. Then we have the classical symptoms in which the child will have cough, cold and flu-like symptoms, headache, fever. These are the signs of COVID. Then we have atypical symptoms. Atypical symptoms are in children, we are seeing a lot of atypical symptoms. These symptoms can be like GI symptoms, vomiting, loose motion, stomach pain. 5 to 10% of cases are having this type of symptoms. Then we have skin symptoms, rashes over the body, fever with rashes. Then red eye, conjunctival congestion in the eye or a red eye in children. 3 to 5% of cases have these symptoms. Sometimes they have only headache and severe tiredness. They can be COVID positive. So you have to be taking care that the child doesn't have fever, but he's having headache and too much tiredness also will be there. Another symptom which is very cause of concern for both the parents and the doctors is a syndrome known as multi-inflammatory syndrome of COVID, in which the child may get a very severe form of reaction to the COVID virus. At present, we are seeing like 1 in 1,000 cases of COVID infection, 1 infection of IMIC. In this, the child may suddenly go into shock, or we'll have cardiac manifestation in which the cardiac arteries dilate, and these cardiac artery dilatation can be long term. If not taken properly, or if it is very severe, it will remain lifelong. So we have to be very careful about this MISC. Another problem is you can have an MISC without getting a COVID infection. Somebody get a COVID infection in your family, child got exposed, he did not show any symptoms, but after 1 or 3 months, he lands up in MISC. At present, in the Bangalore, there are around more than 1,000 cases who are already admitted with MISC. Rainbow Hospital is stating like 1 to 2 cases every day of MISC. So there is a lot of cases of MISC. So we have to be very careful. If any adult member in the family getting COVID infection, protect the child. Even asymptomatic or no symptoms, the child can develop COVID type of infections later on. Then we have some autoimmune manifestation, which are chronic COVID. Some very few will have chronic COVID complications where it involves the heart, the lung, the diabetes, the thyroid, these autoimmune manifestations. Right now, we can't say much because most of these are reported in adults, and adults were the one who were infected earlier. So we don't have more data about this regarding the children, but there is likelihood that this can happen. But at present, if I tell you the statistics, there are 40,000 cases of COVID infections in Karnataka at present, which are less than 9 years, and 1 lakh cases of COVID infections in children between 10 to 19 years. The effect of mortality is very high if the child is less than 1 year. We also have a newborn having COVID, or the person born with COVID, and the mortality is very high in less than 1 year, and then it is high in teenagers, more than 12 years, like teenager age group, the mortality is high. This time we are seeing the death rate in children is higher. It is 3 times more than the first wave. We are also seeing people in the children group that they are the primary contact. Earlier, always it was like the parents have got the infection and then the child got it. Now children are getting infections. They are a primary contact in the house. And we are seeing that more pneumonias and complicated type of COVID in children also. So you have to protect the children, and the children have to protect themselves. Whatever is being told, they have to practice strictly about the COVID appropriate behavior. We say COVID appropriate behavior of mask, You remember the SMS, social distancing, mask, and sanitizer or hand washing. But after saying all this, you have to know the good news is that 95% of the children recover well without much treatment. Only paracetamol, lot of fluids, and good healthy diet can help them recover from COVID. If they keep them active, give them nutritious food, paracetamol, they become all right. 95% will become all right. But every child is precious for us. Even that 5%, we should know what are the danger signs and where we have to contact the doctor or seek immediate medical help. So if there is any medical breathing difficulty in the child shows breathing difficulty, if it is respiratory rate is higher. So if the respiratory rate, if the child is less than 1 year, the respiratory rate is more than 40. If it is 1 to 3 years, the respiratory rate can, if it is more than 30, and if it is more than 3 years, then more than 20. If any respiratory rate is higher, that means the child may be having some pneumonia. So please seek medical attention properly. Then if the child is excessively vomiting, if he is not retaining anything, then the child may not be able to retain anything and may go into dehydration. So better to seek medical help. Maybe IV fluids will be required. If the child is extremely lethargic, he's confused, he's sleeping, he's not waking up, that means something is wrong with the child. Please contact a doctor. The child is having pale and cold extremities. Another thing is, if the fever is going very high, in the initial days only, the fever is ranging 102, 103, child is getting a lot of shivering, or the fever is continuing for more than 4 or 5 days, then the likelihood of this going into a severe form of COVID is there. So please monitor the child very carefully. Don't rush, but you have to monitor the child. There are many online hospitals which are providing support where you can remotely monitor the child and take the child to the hospital at the appropriate time. Then in a small child, there can be bluish discoloration of the lips, grunting sound while breathing. If the child is bigger enough, he may complain of chest pain. Then there is a biphasic fever in which the fever initially comes and then it settles down and then it comes back in the second week. Then also there is likelihood the child may have a chronic COVID or some COVID complication. So please take appropriate medical help. Another important parameter which everybody is following is the pulse oximeter. The pulse oximeter reading should be more than 95%. But we should remember in children that more than this 95 reading, we have to see about the other things, how the child is behaving. Because the pulse oximeter which we are using at home may not appropriately get the correct value. The child may be moving the finger. So keep the hand of the child on a proper a stiff surface or a table and then put the pulse oximeter, wait for 2 minutes, see the reading where it ends and then record it. But it is important if the recording is low, but the child is otherwise normal, don't panic because maybe the reading is wrong. There are many cases which we see will come and then the child is perfectly fine. But it's okay. If you are in doubt, better to take it to the hospital and get the correct reading done. Now, as the data shows, like in the first wave, we have 0.5% of children of the total COVID cases, but in the second wave, this has gone up to 12%. So why this is so? Maybe because more adults are getting infected, and when one adult gets infected in the household, it may transfer to 2-3 children because they don't follow the social distancing norm. At the home, it's very difficult. Another thing is like maybe the COVID appropriate behavior was not followed during the month of February, March, and that wise children are got more exposed to this virus and they are getting more infected in this second wave. Now, there is a lot of talk about the third wave of infection in COVID, and this is going to affect the children more. See, these are predictions. Although looking at the current scenario, there is very likelihood that the third wave is going to hit the children. But these are protection, only time will tell. And why this is so? Because at present, our vaccines are not approved for children. So there will be a lot of children who are, these will be the only unvaccinated cohort, and the COVID infections can infect them. Many children who are already getting subclinically or clinically getting COVID infections may develop a chronic complication, which I have already told, like MISC or chronic COVIDs, they may get infected. Schools have to open. Whenever they open, then there is a big likelihood that this COVID infection is going to spread, because maintaining appropriate behavior is a big task at school. So we have to inculcate the habit of SMS in that child right now itself in the home. Every children should learn how they will going to behave in the school when they open. It's not going to be normal. Whenever it opens, we have to follow the appropriate behavior and inculcate in the child how he has to behave in the school whenever it opens. Now, what should we do to stop our children from getting infected from third wave? I said all the adults should get vaccinated now. We have to ramp our vaccination so that as many as adults, we can get it covered with the vaccination. We should avoid public gatherings and social gatherings so that the children don't get infected. Another thing is, as I already told, inculcate the habit of SMS in the child at the home itself. We can make some, maybe it's at home, you can make a song for washing the hands and play that song, or tell them how to wash the hands, and everybody can sing that song and wash their hands together so that they get this. The children can be told to make some paintings or drawings where they show about the COVID appropriate behavior, maybe some painting competitions. These things the teachers can do to help the child understand that how to behave properly when the school open. Government and our medical fraternity also have to get prepared for this childhood infections of COVID, because right now, whatever the current arrangements they have made for the COVID, treating COVID patients is adult specific. Once the pediatric starts, it is difficult to manage the child in a stadium kind of hospitals. The children, the nurses and the medical paramedical staffs are also very trained in COVID infections in children. They're more adult specific. So it will be a tough task for our medical fraternity also to take care of these children in hospitals. And another aspect of COVID is the lockdown. The children are having a tough time in the lockdown. So we know that the parents should understand that it is stressful for them, and we have to do, we can do whatever best we can do to remove their stress. I know the children are lost their daily routine of going to school, meeting their friends, and playing with their friends. So we have to be empathetic to them and tell them that, okay, we are also having a tough time, and how to make best during this lockdown period. So children can be, you should have a, spend some quality time with the children. I know parents who are working from home, then you have household chores, then you have to help the child in the virtual classrooms. That all takes your time, but still find at least 1 hour time that all of the members in the family can play together, some board games, or anything at home. You can develop a hobby, gardening, or you have a pets, you can play with that. And another thing is, let the child help you in your household chores. Make him, it's a time the child can be made more responsible, so he can learn his responsibilities now. And you can plan your day and see that, like, one positive thing which happened in the whole day is discussed in your dining and lunch times. so that the child feels happy. You can arrange some virtual meetings for the child with his friends or his cousins, relatives, so that he feels more happy. And uh, regarding the academic, what they are doing, be a little gentle on that. I know this is will be tough time for them. He's stressed out. He doesn't know what is going to happen next. He doesn't see, he doesn't understand. Then be a little gentle on his academic performance. It's going to improve later on. Nothing is going to happen now. If 1 or 2 years they are a little less, but see that the child is happy, because he is also getting stressed looking at your stress. The parents are stressed because of a lot of things, because maybe financially or work from home, household works, and sometimes that in the family, all this, the parents getting stressed, the stress is getting transmitted to the children. So be light on, be gentle on them, and you also relax, have a healthy lifestyle. It is very important right now during COVID infections that we eat healthy, exercise, and have a good, nice daily routine and eat healthy. For the children, especially, you have to eat healthy food. And in healthy food means a proper amount of fats, carbohydrates, protein, vitamins, and minerals. For 18 plus vaccination are approved, but which vaccines you should give? So see, both the vaccines are good enough, Covishield and Covaxin. Both have their own plus and minus. I don't think there is both the efficacy wise, both are same. Covishield has shown some side effects in the Western world, but we are not seeing much side effect in our Indian subcontinent. So maybe it's more of genetic related also. And but Covaxin, the data is little less. So both have their plus points and negative points. You can take either of the vaccine. If there's any history of lot of drug allergy in the child, then better go for Covaxin if there is any drug allergies in the child. Kid who had lung-related comorbidity like allergic rhinitis and was on inhalers, but since 1 to 2 years were off from inhalers, what extra precautions should be taking? Such children, if they get infections of COVID, then there is likelihood that they may develop the HRAD or the wheezing episode, which earlier. So you have to be very careful about the child. If the child is off inhalers for last so many years, there's no need to start the inhaler, but protect the child, because this child can develop more pneumonias and wheezing episodes. So you have to be very careful. If there is any symptom of COVID, start the inhaler immediately. For 18 plus, can we give them Covishield? Yes, we can give Covishield or Covaxin. What are the post-COVID health issues to watch in kids? Post-COVID, as I told, you have to watch, mainly the child may have weakness, and you have to take care by giving him some multivitamin and nutritious food. Then as I told, that multi-inflammatory syndrome, which is very dangerous in children. So if the child starts developing fever again, then after taking the Covishield or Covaxin, are the people safe from getting severe COVID? As per the data right now suggests, yes, it protects, but there are incidences of getting COVID severe infections after vaccinations also. But this is mostly in old age. So we think that the comorbidities play a major role. Another factor in these people are, in older people, the effect of the vaccine is little less. The development of antibodies are little less, because their immune system is like aging. So that's also aging. So they don't produce that much immune response. That can be a factor in these people who are getting severe COVID infection in spite of getting 2 doses. Ma'am, I have anemia. Does that put me at risk to COVID? If you have anemia, not only COVID, any infections you are susceptible to, please take care of your anemia. The anemia is not like cannot be treated. It can be due to nutritional, and whatever is the cause, please get it, because any anemia make you susceptible. There are certain vitamins and minerals which are important for us to fight the infections. One of them is iron, which causes anemia, B12, vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, so all that thing. You should not have any nutritional deficiency. We all family members positive. Child is 5 years old, has mild cough and cold, but no fever, and child is active. Could you please tell that what medication he is to take, as now we are giving cough and cold medicines, and also how many days we should? You can give cough and cold medicine. Apart from that, you can give some vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D supplement, which will help the child to fight infections. But please monitor of this child for next 2-3 months. Any continuous fever, please take proper medical attention. For which year we should give Covishield? After 18 years, you can give Covishield. Ma'am, will the influenza shots has vaccination for young kids help? This is Sharvi Panda. Yeah. See, influenza cannot protect from COVID infections. That you have to be very clear, but you should take the influenza shots also, because anyhow COVID vaccines is not approved for such children. And if the child has COVID and his immunity will be down, that time he may get influenza, pneumonia, any other kinds of illness. So please complete your routine vaccination. At least the child should not get those infections when he get the COVID. But these vaccines will not protect. None of the vaccine can protect you from COVID infection. In fact, the COVID vaccine itself is not able to protect you 100%. So other vaccines, it's not going to protect for COVID infections. Saharash, good morning, doctor. Now the screen timings are more for kids. Please advise how to long and how restrict. Screen timings, see, we have to give them some screen timings because of their school work. So that you will have to allow, you have to monitor about what they are doing during the screen times when the children are small. And after the screen timings, maybe half an hour more for any other school related work or chatting to the friends, because that is the only way they are connecting to the friend. So that is allowed. After that, we should not and have to do some type of games at home. You have to go to your old plays and all, which we used to do at home, and try to do with the children. We adults in family were positive and giving multivitamin and zinc supplement. Now what precaution do we take? I think that much is enough, and keep monitoring. The main thing is the monitoring. Dian, ma'am, I have heard that the room should be ventilated. We live in apartment and there are COVID cases just above a house. So it is safe to open the windows? Yeah, it is safe to open your windows. Probably the person who are COVID infected should not open their windows, and they would have been told them that you have to be inside the house. And in COVID infection and open ventilation helps. Actually, ventilation, if it's good ventilation, it not COVID will not enter from the window and enter your house. So don't worry, unless a crowd is of 100 people are coughing out. Otherwise, it will not infect inside. My son is G6PD. Should I take something into consideration in terms of medications? Yeah, you have to take the medications along with doctor's advice. We have to see. I think many medicines are contraindicated in G6PD. We have to be very careful about giving these medicines to them, especially ivermectin and azithromycin. You have to consult the doctor before giving it to them. In Europe, AstraZeneca is banned in many countries for age lower than 30-40. So Covishield is safe for lower age group. As I told, yeah, in the lower age group, only Covishield is showing little more reactions, because these immunity in these children are, these people are active and they can show in reactions. But India, the report is less. At present, it is very less. You can take a call. You can take Covaxin also. But Covishield, still now, we don't have real complicated side effects of Covishield. Little bit is reported, but we have not got the side effects which are reported in the Western countries. For how many days we have to isolate the kid if showing mild symptoms? 14 days. Asymptomatic 7 to 10 days. Symptomatic 14 days. Can breastfeeding mother can get vaccine? Yes, breastfeeding mother can take the vaccination. Any medicine or things to increase immunity other than vitamin C? Zinc is one of them. Zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D. But please take it in a medical advice, because too much taking of vitamin C months together then cause side effects of zinc and vitamin C. So please don't take this medicine continuously more than 1 month or maximum 2 months. What is the dose of zinc syrup for 2 to 5 year old? I think that you have to discuss with the doctor. It depends on the weight of the child. We can't generalize that. Cod liver oil capsule can be given to 8 year old. Yes, you can give cod liver oil to the child with vitamin A and vitamin D. Is there any antibiotic regularly required for paracetamol other and which medicine? No, there is no role of any antibiotic of children having mild COVID infection. Only paracetamol is required. Unless the child is having some features of sore throat or other things which the doctor can tell, then only antibiotics are prescribed. Should we wait for Pfizer? But it will take many months to come to India or go over Covishield. Pfizer vaccine has a good immunity, 90%. I agree about it. Whether it will come to India, whether it will be stored properly in India with a minus 50 degrees centigrade to store it, I really don't know. And another thing is Pfizer vaccine also has the same complications as Covishield. Covishield has been highlighted, but Pfizer has a similar side effect. So you have to take a call. I think you can take Covishield now. I daughter is 9 year old. Which multivitamin can be given to child to protect from COVID? As I told, zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A. This should be, you should not be nutritionally deficient of these vitamins to protect. It will not protect you from COVID. It can help you the strength to fight COVID, and you should not be overdosing of these also. How do you know how to know if you or your kid has COVID if he or she does not show any symptoms of COVID? Uh, it's not required to test everybody without showing any symptoms. Any one person in the house is getting symptoms, then only test it. Otherwise, it's not routinely. Right now, we are not. If you're very particular, you can buy the rapid test at home and get it tested at home, but that's right now not advisable. Responding to G6PD, G6PD, yeah, many medicine antibiotics are contraindicated in G6PD patients and has to be taken with precautions. So please don't take any antibiotics. Simple paracetamol is fine. It can be taken in G6PD patients, and multivitamins are fine. Nowadays, kids get aggressive since they have been only at home. What I advise on that? Also advise on parents. As I discussed, we have to find some time, 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours to play with the kids and be empathetic with the kids and try to understand their problems, explain them rather than commanding them. They will definitely understand it. How long we can take B complex and we give it to 12-year-old daily? Yes, you can take B complex, but I would suggest if you're taken for more than 2 months, stop it for some days. Some days means a month, and then you take it. Don't take any multivitamin, anything like months together. How can we protect the children during third wave COVID, where news also saying that children will affect the most? Get the adults vaccinated at home, maintain COVID appropriate behavior, inculcate that habit in children. Do have a parent groups in with the children also. You try to teach the children in groups. Teachers from school have to also play a major role where they can inculcate these habits in the children. How to differentiate between normal cough and cold and child with wheezing history and COVID infection? Very difficult. Even doctors, it's difficult to differentiate between a novel cough and cold and COVID infections. If it is a very mild COVID, it is very difficult to differentiate. One thing, if the child is having cough and cold, you can wait for some days. First thing, try to be mask him. You also mask yourself. See for next 1 or 2 days. If the things are not, it's looking like more, then better to test the child. Or if any other member in the family starts getting cough and cold, then definitely everybody should get it tested. So, or any other fever, somebody is getting cough and cold, other is getting fever, there is likelihood the COVID, because usually the COVID infection, one person in the family, immediately 2-3 days, others start showing symptoms. So you have to be careful. But if the child is having cough and cold and you don't know, and especially keep him away from the adults in the family, elderly. If we put Covishield, the virus will not come. Covishield and Covaxin, any vaccine which you are taking, will not prevent from COVID infection 100%. That is already been stated many times, it's only the severe form of COVID which is protected in people who are taking vaccination. So once everybody takes this vaccine, this becomes like a normal virus going from one person to another without much problem. As you don't worry about your other cough and cold, it will become like that. So everybody takes vaccine, then we prevent the infection which is becoming severe. How long should a COVID positive recovered person wait before vaccine? 3 months you have to wait after recovery from COVID. Even if you have taken first dose also, you have to wait for 3 months.
I'd like to ask one question on behalf of Rotary, the NGO and the service-oriented organization. So, what can social volunteers like us do to help the medical frontline, the wonderful job that the frontline workers are doing? What is your advice to the NGOs in terms of where we should focus our service effort?
I think we should focus on public awareness about SMS, the COVID appropriate behavior. We still have people who are not wearing the mask properly. I mean, the proper wearing of mask. We have to make the lower socioeconomic strata, the people who are living in too much crowding places, how to maintain the hygienic practices and the mask. I think there, and vaccination. I still have people who are working in our community, who are reluctant to take the vaccines. The focus should be only on these two things. And others, I think even the charitable organizations are also coming forward for helping the COVID patients. That they are also doing a recommendable job by providing food and other helps about oxygen concentrators and all that thing. But social awareness is still a long way. Still many people who feel that they are immune to COVID and it's just a flu, nothing is going to happen. That social awareness has to be created in our public, and we have a very big population who are uneducated, and I think the focus should be on this only. Ma'am, my sister Joa has sneezed every morning. As it any risk of COVID? If this sneezing is continuing for a long period, I think it's not COVID. It can be some allergic rhinitis with your sister must be having it. So as I told, if there is cough and cold in the family and other people start getting it immediately, then more likelihood, or any fever is there. Simple sneezing, if the person is already having a history of allergic rhinitis, he is going to sneeze. So take care about the allergies and in the child. If the child gets cough and cold, till the results come for COVID test, should be give Duolin or Budecort. If the child has cough and cold and he has a history of wheezing earlier in life, then you can give Budecort. Or if there is wheezing, then the Duolin that the doctor can decide. Preventively, Budecort can be given if the child is having a wheezing history and developing cough and cold. All parents to whom we are infected a month ago, and we have completely sanitized the home. Call parents to whom we are infected a month ago and we have completely sanitized. Yes, you can call the parents. A month is a bigger time. So most of you will be COVID negative with this time, but you have to be careful because from where you have got it, that source may be somewhere nearby only. Suggest healthy food for kids. We have to be very innovative nowadays for kids to eat healthy food. You should incorporate fruits, vegetables in children, legumes, and whole grains. And how you have to do that, I think Google is having lots of ideas. You have to search more varieties, be innovative about your foods. If I say children to eat fruits and vegetables, they will never eat. Make it a smoothie, they will eat it. Make it something like a cutlet or something different, they'll eat it. So you have to try and give all these ingredients in their diet. After how many days we can take the second dose of vaccine, Covaxin? Covaxin can be given 4 to 6 weeks after the second dose.